Good afternoon, this is Red Rock Country in the Coconino National Forest, and I'm going to break here to talk some anime.
Dojin work. Dojin Work is a short, mildly amusing comedy anime series set in the world of amateur comic book artists. Najimi Osana is a young college woman having trouble keeping a part-time job. Her friend, Sayuri, introduces her to the world of doujinshi, self-published amateur manga. Sayuri draws an amateur erotic manga herself, titled Panty Revolution, using the pen name Bloomer Girl. Because of that pen name, I guess, there's a tiny anthropomorphized pair of bloomers hanging around her, like a dust bunny. While Sayuri doesn't make a lot of money selling a couple hundred copies of each issue she produces, one of Najimi's old friends, Justice, turns out to be an established artist with a substantial following, selling thousands of copies of each issue at a lower price. Although both Sayuri and Justice are perfectly happy just to have other people enjoy their work, Najimi does some overly optimistic math and, despite what Sayuri and Justice tell her of their own experiences, Najimi decides there's money to be made, so she decides to draw erotic doujinshi herself. The plot, such as it is, concerns Najimi's humorous indoctrination into the world of amateur manga artists. Najimi may seem to be the main character of this comic, slowly settling into the tar pit of obsession, but it's really Sayuri who makes the series funny for me. She's not a raving, hyper-enthusiastic guide for Najimi, but instead provides a quietly sardonic commentary. Laid-back Sayuri seems quite comfortable herself in the world of erotic storytelling. Energetic Najimi, on the other hand, seems somehow embarrassed by her newly erotic alter ego, or at least hasn't come to terms with it yet. This gives Sayuri plenty of opportunity to publicly tease and embarrass her friend.
Najimi? 書いたのはあんたなのに、私が変な人みたいに見られる。お嬢さん、エロ本落としましたよ。
Some of Dojin Work's better humor plays on misunderstandings, where perfectly innocent conversations are mistaken to be about something else entirely, often erotic in nature. Sayuri often seems aware of these crosswires and quietly encourages it with an innocent style that belies her inner mischief maker. Although this anime is about drawing erotic comics, the anime itself is not terribly risque. We never get a look inside the manga these characters are drawing, beyond the suggestive covers. We're just told it's erotic, 18+, and we know that underage Sora isn't allowed to look inside. Now, this show is plowing the same sort of ground as previous shows that drag a newcomer inside the world of some anime or manga fan obsession, such as Comic Party, Genshiken, or even Welcome to the NHK. In fact, I've seen the line to get into the exhibition hall for Comic-Ket in so many different anime, it's almost as if I've been there. These shows are strictly for the die-hard fan base, and like the older Otaku no Video, they certainly aren't aimed at an audience that hasn't already read a lot of manga and watched a lot of anime. Dojin Work anime is based on the manga by Hiroyuki. Najimi and Sayuri are still in school. In the anime, they're portrayed as independent drinking-age 20-somethings, though thanks to character designs, they may look a little bit younger than they're described. They may still be students, but the anime only has one scene set in school, and that just involves a conversation between the three main characters chatting among themselves, without the usual classmates, teachers, student council, or clubs to deal with. Someone my age appreciates that it doesn't really depend on school-based humor, because I can barely remember where I went to school, much less how much zany fun it wasn't. I enjoyed the scene where Najimi shows her very first book to Justice. It's fresh off the printer, and Justice is clearly at a loss for encouraging words.
まずいい紙だな。いい紙だ。本当。ああ、初出版でこんなにいい紙を。
Eventually, Najimi figures out she's not going to make any money selling these manga, but by then she's just into the camaraderie and fun of competition. And that's something I liked about this series. It's not about Otaku being weird. It's about Najimi and Sayuri pursuing a passion. The artwork is mostly straightforward. They've adopted a manga-like touch by blending unimportant background characters into a light, solid pastel shading. I can't say much of anything about the music. Except for the opening and ending themes, it's mostly standard comic lead-ups and double takes. The episodes are short, a bit under 15 minutes long. I believe when it aired on TV in Japan, each animated segment was paired with one of the live-action video segments to fill out the half-hour slot. Media Blasters has run 4 animated episodes together on their DVD, followed by 4 live-action segments in a separate menu. I think it plays fine that way because the animated segments are the part that's interesting, and there's no crossover between the animated and live-action segments. The live-action segments involve 2 of the voice actresses preparing their own first-time doujinshi under the guidance of Bloomer-kun, an animated pair of shorts. I found that character disturbing. The ladies also get some instruction by some real flesh-and-blood manga artists, including doujin work creator Hiroyuki. They go through the steps from creating characters, getting drawing tools, doing their drafts, and arranging for printing. The later live-action segments added a laugh track, which was the first clue I had that these were supposed to be funny. If you ever wanted to learn how to get 300 copies of a 20-page manga with a color cover printed in Tokyo on short notice, episode 10 has you covered. One thing I did notice in the instructions in the live-action segment, do people still use physical shading sheets? I guess I thought when comics moved to digital production, all the shading got done on the computer, and screen tone sheets went the way of the exclamation point. Even the old Zipatone brand name is defunct. Anime Works has released all 12 episodes of this series on a set of 3 DVDs with English subtitles only, no dub. I give the animated part of Doujin Work 3.5 stars for making me laugh. It's a short, fluffy comedy, but I found it worth a watch. Since the episodes are so short, however, you may find the DVDs with less than an hour of subtitled-only animation a little on the pricey side. For the live-action segments, unless you're planning on selling doujinshi yourself, I don't think it's going to be very entertaining. Other extras include an textless opening and ending animation, and if you pop the final DVD into your computer, you'll find it has a PDF with a sample of the English translated Doujin Work manga. The first volume of the DVD also came in an alternate deluxe package with an actual copy of that manga.
Thanks for listening.